Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. That is hmm. That was just Chase and Willow on General Hospital. I don't think I really have to go much further than that. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Amy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? GH fan is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Sean is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Tiffany is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Tiffany, I respect your opinion. I disagree. I am looking so forward to this crossover. I can't wait. Queen of the South is in the chat. How you doing tonight? It's good to see you, Queen. Allison's in the chat. How you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Glad to hear that, Sean. So good. I miss my wine, but I'm gonna be civilized tonight because gotta wake up early in the morning tomorrow, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Oh, you haven't? I'm good, Allison. I had the day off, so um, everything went well. Everything went well. I got to sit there and see Star Wars. It was fun. Revenge of the Sith is so good. Kai Wan's in the chat. Lisa's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Yeah, it's hot out here too, Allison. It's summertime, so it just is what it is. It'll be cold. Oh, you're off tomorrow and Friday. Okay. All right. It's good to have a day off. I had an extra day off, so I made use of it. I'll sit there and say that. I made some new videos. So also, Sean, I put out one of your favorite series, Miami Vice. I started doing those shorts, the Miami Vice one. So if you get a chance, definitely check that out. That was my goddamn music at? What's good, Ron? All right, thank you, Sean. Appreciate that. So, what happened on General Hospital? And I feel like almost nothing happened on General Hospital at the same time. It's actually quite amazing. Quite amazing. No, he did not. No, he did not, Sean. I mean, no, he did not, Allison. Not yet. Now, Spider Quick says Will is wrong for doing what she's doing, but I don't blame her at all. Like Willow did. All Willow did was hug her friend Chase in Brooklyn, threaten her. I ain't mad at Willow for going against Brooklyn. I mean, yeah, nobody should be afraid of Brooklyn. And I'm not calling her what other people call her. I'm not sitting there doing all that. I said the same thing, Spider Quick. I was like, girl, it's just a hug, relax. I was like, relax, calm down. It's a hug. You blowing a gasket over a hug. Ron says, what's your take on Gwen wanting Leo to write a book? I don't remember if it said a book. Listen, they're going to be friends again, so it's less bickering, and I'm happy about that. What's good, Krista? I'm sick of Carly being a hypocrite. What is she being a hypocrite about? Latasha, what's good, Latasha? I don't know, Jay's fan. You almost seem to sit there and say with a hint of sarcasm. We're not gonna start off with that type of attitude, are we? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, I agree with that, Sean. Yeah, exactly. It was a hug. It was like, girl, relax. Like, I'm going to destroy you. I was like, Brooklyn, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere, you walk around and act like somebody's supposed to be afraid of you. That's what I said, Spider. I was like, girl, sit your ass down somewhere. Nobody. She's nobody to be afraid of. I can tell you that much. Yes, I do agree with that, Ron. That Lonnie and Chanel are his daughters, and yeah, I agree with all that. What's good, Dolomitics? What's good? I mean, my whole thing is Spider-Quake. I would just sit there and say optics. It looks bad. Okay, you hanging out with your ex girlfriend while she's wearing a bikini. It ain't a good look. Like, it ain't a good look. I would sit there and say that. Oh, I did. It looks so good. It looks so good, Dolomedics. I am so looking forward to watching it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Um, I'm like, you got those shows that are all in the same universe. You might as well utilize that. I'm not saying it has to be all the time, but like utilize that shit, dog. I don't know, but I don't know, GH fan. I'm just reacting towards that. I'm just reacting towards I gotta rewatch the preview. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I'm just, and that's the thing, Domex. I mean, think about it. You have Victor Newman, the definition of an entitled white man, and you have Vernon, okay, a guy who was a civil rights legend. Um, so like that's how I'm sitting there looking at the whole thing. No, 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 that's not bad optics. It is bad optics. Well, okay, well, I humbly disagree, bro. Let me put it this way. I don't know if you're if like Harissa Smith is saying like you're trolling, but let me put it this way. You're hanging out with your ex-girlfriend while you are married to your current wife, and you're hanging out with her while she's wearing a bikini. Bro, there's no universe where that actually looks good. Okay? It just like optics wise, it doesn't look good. I will sit there and say that. It does not look good optics wise. The thing that people forget is Vernon has potential to be as shady as hell. People just underestimate him because he's soft spoken. Yes, I agree with that. Um, but yeah. Um, you know what? I'm gonna go get some ice cream. I'm gonna finish up this goddamn ice cream. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. You hanging out with your girlfriend with a itty bitty tiny bikini? Nah, broski. Thank you, especially given all the things that have happened prior to that. Um, I will sit there and say I am mad at myself for not letting this shit. Not let 1 second, like not letting this shit go out any sooner. But Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ, how you doing? Yes, she's gonna be played by a new person. Absolutely, Allison. Okay, I'm not even gonna. Well, you know what? That's why we can agree to disagree on that. I'll say that much. We can agree to disagree on that. I feel like you're hitting that point pretty hard, so we're gonna agree to disagree on that. Ron, I can't tell if you're joking or if you're. I can't tell if you're trolling me. Or are you being serious about that question? But I'm gonna sit there and take that as in you're just trolling me. Gonna have more pictures. And that's the thing. So certain things, I just kind of stopped caring. Well, not really caring, but like, um, yeah, they do a lot of stupid things. They do a lot of dumb things. I like this picture though. I like this picture. Ah, Spikewood says, "Okay, explain why you think it's bad optics. It is only because Chase and Willow are exes, bro. I I think you know. Well, here's the thing, Spikewood. I already explained that. You know why it's bad optics. I literally just said that. I started off saying that. What do I need to explain? I literally explained it in the first sentence. But yes, I love this picture. I mean, I don't take the show serious, Ron. So I don't know how serious am I going to sit there and take, what you call it. I actually don't feel bad for Brooklyn because she continues to make excuses for Chase behavior and doesn't care about how it affects her family. Stand by your man doesn't equal to the hell with your family. Okay, here's what I will sit there and say. Sonny is a murder suspect. Okay, I want to talk about this picture for a minute. First of all, first of all, he should have been a murder suspect with the whole he should have been a murder suspect when he killed an FBI agent. Like, what are we doing? One second, Ron. I didn't hear your first sentence before I left like a minute and came back. Like quick, they're exes, and you're hanging out with her while she's wearing a sexy little bikini. Okay, you have a wife hanging out. I don't care what the reason is why you're wearing that, swimming or whatever. Let's be honest, bro. Willow shouldn't even be in the house. She shouldn't even be on a Quartermain estate because of Tracy. You know how Tracy don't want her at the Quartermain estate. So the fact that she's even there and she's hanging out with Willow, she's hanging out with Chase in this itty bitty tiny bikini. Yeah, it's yeah, he's killed a lot of people. Exactly. But yeah, it's a bad look. That's my whole thing. Like, you're hanging out with your ex in this revealing bikini. Like, come on, seriously? It ain't a good look. It is not a good look. Okay, well, this is gonna take up. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Let me turn. I didn't see what you said, Rob. What are you talking about? No, I mean I get that, GH man. I'm just not there saying it's still a bad look though. You're hanging out on corner. Yeah, and that's another thing. Yes, he was the one that sat there and called her over there. But like, I mean, let's be honest. Sis is just kind of hanging out there. Like, okay, you got the little glove or whatever. Nobody told her ass to sit down and start hanging out and chatting with Chase. Like, yeah, you came there to go get your shit, to go get your some stuff, and that was about it. Um, exactly. You were hanging out and going for a swim and all. Nah, we're not gonna do that. Spikewick says, so Chase can't even go on the beach because women have bikinis on. If Chase is this loyal man, he wouldn't look at Willow like that. And so far, I didn't see Chase looking at Willow's body. Okay. All right. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Spikewick. Yeah, I see what you're doing. Okay, bro. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm moving on. I see exactly what you're doing. You may sit there and get away with that and it carries a string, but you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna. Nope. You're not getting with that. Nope, broski. You're not gonna pull. You're not gonna. You're not gonna pull that wool with me. Exactly. Exactly, G. I was like, nah, bro. You're not getting me, bro. You've been in my chest too long. You're not. You have to be a little more clever than that. Are you shocked that Polina just gave up? I mean, yeah, I am. I am. It's very passive aggressive. So okay, this is something else, and I where's my music at? I like me some Nina. I'm not gonna lie, I like me some Nina. Nina got to stay in my eyes. Gorgeous queen cat lady. I'm glad that you are doing days. I thought Andre asked that did that. Yeah. Um, he does. How does that have to do with me? I'm glad that you're happy. You know. So Laura's that they're trying to um but Laura seemed like she was giving Sunny a hard time about Sunny's methods on how to turn Pascal was hilarious to me. I'm like, Laura, you put both of them in this situation, and now you're talking about, hey, listen, anything that you do, I'm not going to be able to turn a blind eye. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't think that you were a Jewish fan. Election needs to go to Logan with Will. Why? Why does she need to go to Logan? She's a Forster. What's good double C? Not that they're saying that your last name should automatically put you where you are. I'm just that they're saying like why. She has a jewelry line over there. She don't need to go to Logan. They live together. Honestly, tell you the truth, that whole living and working together is way too fucking much. Like it is. It's way too goddamn much. What's good double C? No, I didn't think that though. Oh, okay, that's cool. I don't remember last Friday. Let's be honest. She only decided to hang out with Chase because Brooklyn decided to open up her goddamn mouth and start trying to threaten people like people need to be afraid of her. Electric line is one of the lines being supported. That was one of Hope's arguments. Hmm. What's good, Darby? Yeah, this whole listen, RG is a prick, and every day that he's on, he just proves how much of a prick he is. Every time that the models sit there and talk, they always say something stupid. Um, Laura wants to keep her hands clean. I was like, Laura, the fact that she sat there and said anything like about how Sunny was like, oh, I don't know if you should, if you do this, I don't know if I can turn a blind eye. What does that mean? You don't know if you can turn a blind eye? What does that mean? Girl, you didn't call the cops when you're supposed to. You called the local mobster, and now you have a problem with the way that the local mobster's handling mob shit? Like, what are you talking about? Listen, I was cool with it because Brooklyn sat there opening up her mouth trying to threaten people. Brooklyn, you're nobody to sit there and be afraid of. Okay. In all reality, she would have sat there and just walked away, but Brooklyn decided to open up her mouth. So I'm like, yo, you're not gonna sit there and punk me. Like, what are you? So, but yeah, I was just like, Luke was a mobster too earlier, at least. Yeah, you work with some sketchy people. I'm kind of a sketchy person. Also, kind of saved the world. Exactly. Hold my beer. You're not gonna sit there and tell me what the hell to do. Cherry ice cream was good. I don't really have a take on it, Ron. I mean, I mostly it. They just talked about a dead rat and how it could be about Lexi and she may die just like the rat did. That's my take on it. Willow said, "I'll make him a better man." Now game on. Exactly. I'm like, yo, you're not going to, my whole thing again, if you sit there and open up your mouth, you want to sit there and try to threaten people like you miss little badass, okay, fine. If she didn't, and if she didn't say anything, see, here's the thing Michael was counting on this whole thing, right? Counting on this whole plan of putting those two together and everything like that. Um, 1 second, Darby. Putting those two together and stuff, and it wouldn't even have worked if it wasn't for Brooklyn opening up her damn mouth. That's the thing. I think Phyllis might give the company back to Victor. Either that or her ass is going to goddamn jail. The fact that she was so delusional up until today was just laughable. Darby says, either if somebody got me involved with a homicide, they got me caught up with, now I had demands on how I deal with it, would have to deal with it themselves. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not. Exactly, Darby. And James, man, I don't know what you said before. Well, I'm not in Brooklyn. Well, here's the thing, James, man, I'm not in Brooklyn. I'm not in Brooklyn shoes, and I wouldn't sit there and be mopping off like Brooklyn. And if I did, well, then I guess I got to deal with the consequences that I started. Ellie says, "Was crazy as Brooklyn after Ronan found out the last time not to mess with Nina's daughters." Yeah, exactly. Which is why she can't sing. So yeah, you got that. I will sit there and say that I did like the 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 parking lot scene with Pascal. Um, I like when they show like outside scenes of even though we know it's like GH headquarters or whatever. Well, GH fan, we can agree to disagree. Um, but like I said, I like that. When they show those like outdoor scenes, that's always, yeah, that's always interesting. They did that a couple of times. Every now and then they'll do that. I'm like, nice change of pace. And I said this before, and I said that before. Um, all my children used to do that. There was one period in time where all my children did that. Like they had like these live outdoor scenes that I thought was really interesting. What's good, Tracy Steves? Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't have to hear them bickering. Because like I get to the point where it's like I'm not even. All right, Jace fan, calm down. You're getting all riled up. Remember, this is fiction. It's supposed to be fun. We're not gonna take it there. Please do not make me warn you again. It makes me feel like a real community when they have outdoor scenes. Yeah. Yes. Happy Wednesday. I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm just gonna think like I don't know. I just it's very difficult for me to really care about Leo and his scene sometimes. You know? Yeah. I'm just like, but see, here's my whole thing though. Okay, so when I sit there and I look at it as a whole, let's say that Michael didn't orchestrate this whole thing. There's a good chance that Chase and Will still would have got together, right? There's a good chance that they still would have got together, regardless of Michael's plan, because that's just who Chase is, and that's just who Willow is. It's especially who Willow is because she literally sat there and cheated on Chase, she cheated on Michael. I mean, her cheating on Drew is like whatever, but like it's a pattern with her. It's a pattern with her. So like that's why I sat there and I looked at it as a whole, and I'm just like would it really mattered if like Michael got involved or not? Like, yeah, I was actually for that. I was actually for that to be honest. And it's because Carly just annoys me, you know? Like especially today. It just makes you wonder why did they bring her back if she's not gonna if she's not gonna be around, why bring her back? What was the point of that? She tried to tell him she was like liking him again after the dip in the pool. She brought up how things used to be. Yeah, but she would have listened. That's the thing. If she just sit there and listen, let's say Brooklyn didn't threaten her, what was Michael's plan? Like, I don't think that Michael's plan would have actually worked. Everyone keeps sitting there saying that. Exactly, double C. That's what I was sitting there saying. Like, Michael's plan or not, like that, if that, most likely that would have probably happened anyway. So it really wouldn't have mattered, you know? It really wouldn't matter, regardless. But yeah, what's the point of sitting there bringing back Lexi if you're just going to kill her back off? And plus, the whole thing with Abe just comes across as so goddamn flat. Like, he just moves his chick in, and it's almost like 3 years for Paulina didn't mean anything. Nothing whatsoever. You should to talk about game night and this, that, and the third. I'm like, what are we doing? I just, I don't know. The thing, like I said, the thing with Days, I'm like, yo, they need to do better. They need to do better. That's all I'll sit there and say about Days. They really need to do better. Um, And apparently, okay, fucking Jocelyn is like MacGyver at this point. Okay, she figured out a way out, but apparently, I guess Sitwell knew the entire time that Jocelyn was down there. And I guess when you really think about it, it really shouldn't surprise anybody that he knew him. Like, why would he not know what's going on in 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 his house? No, yeah, she probably gonna come back. She probably gonna come back. I don't see her just leaving the show to leave the show. You know. Um, yeah, I mean, they didn't sit there and bring her back just so that way she can just leave the show. So she come back. You know, they're gonna do some romance or whatever. Hey, listen, she figured that shit out. I know some people were like, "Oh my god," like I don't know. Again, I feel like whenever she does good stuff, people don't sit there and recognize that. Like people love to sit there and be like, "Oh, like I don't know." I'm impressed with Josh so far. Yeah, sure, Ron. I don't know. Plus, I'm not gonna lie. Some of Lexi scenes can be kind of annoying. Jason and Britt, what? Well, I mean, romance, not like sex scenes or whatever. This may be an unpopular opinion, but they should get rid of their senior citizens division rather than accent their youth division. These old folks aren't bringing in fans as much as they think. Okay. Well, here's the thing, Darby. I've said that about some of the characters on GH, right? And I will sit there and look at like Johnny and Chanel fucking boring. Johnny and Chanel are fucking boring as fuck. Do you think Lucas would be the new replacement for Brittany in terms of creating the drug? I mean, Britta? Mm, yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that, Tracy. How do you feel about Joe at this point? Is your opinion the same as it was last week? Yeah, he's no nonsense. I think she means Britta or Brit. Yeah, it's about the same. Nothing's really changed. I would sit there and say that much, Tracy. And right now she can't really create any drug because she's on the run. So she don't, you know what I'm saying? Like she don't have access to a lab or anything like that. So it would make sense. Um, that that will fall on Lucas's shoulders. What's good, Ed? Chase fan says if Brooklyn didn't threaten Willow, You don't think that Willow would be hanging out with Chase? Yeah. But there was a point, okay, but what I'm saying is, yeah, thing, there was a point where she was going to leave. Chase was like, hey, listen, do you want to sit there and go for a swim? And she was going to sit there and say no, but Brooklyn said what she said. So at that point, Willow was like, yeah, okay, fine, we'll hang out. My point is, well, you know what my point is. I already said before. Yeah, Chase did sit there and encourage her, but she could have said no. She could have been like, you know what, listen, I don't really want to, or whatever. But she thought the flashback scene went back to what Brooklyn was sitting there saying. Like, Brooklyn, you want to sit there and be all big, bold, and bad, trying to threaten people over a hug. So, okay, fine. You open up your mouth, and that's what you're going to get. I agree with you, Robert, about Johnny Chanel. They're not, yeah, they're not, they're, I know, listen, I know there are people that do like them, but they just don't do anything for me. And they haven't been doing anything for me in a very long time. And I'm not gonna lie, there's just times where Chanel is just annoying. There's just times where Chanel is just annoying. And I said this over the weekend, but Johnny was supposed to start off as a bit of a bad boy, and then they just decided to make him as the most vanilla character as possible. But he started off, you know, as says I saw your day's review, and it would be like 4 years. Oh, 4 years. June 19th, Paul and A would have been married, and I wonder, will it hit him when their anniversary comes around? I don't know. He's been so damn docile. It's hard to sit there and say. Remember, he didn't even make the decision. He wasn't even man enough to sit there and make the goddamn decision um, to, step away from Paulina. And then he's hanging out with Lexi as though like Paulina is just not there anymore. Like, did she die in your head or something? Okay, well, all right. We don't need to go back and forth about this. We already talked about this long enough. Chanel was okay when she was dating a woman. I mean, at least her scenes were tolerable. I'll sit there and say that. Tracy kicking Chase out anyway. Yeah, I literally sat there was like, Tracy, you're doing too damn much. I mean, let's be honest, I never really liked Tracy. And the more I've been watching One Life to Live, the more I've been like, I like Vicky so much more better than Tracy. I really do. That's why I didn't like when she came on as Ronnie Barnes and she had to sit there and play second fiddle to fucking Tracy. Like, oh, you're cheating on my granddaughter for the last time. He never cheated on her in the first place. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Tracy, go take a goddamn Valium. Go take a Valium and lay down somewhere. Allison, Vicky was way better than fucking Tracy. And the thing is, they live in the same town. And I want to sit there and see how Lexi's going to sit there and handle, um, you know, what's good, Jonathan? How Lexi's going to sit there and handle Chanel and Lonnie. Tracy says they need to keep Chase with Brooklyn, but give the two of them a really good storyline or make their current one exit. Exciting. Um, Doran Lord would have given Tracy a run for her money. Doran was a likable, messy character. We definitely gonna sit there and have to do a Doran Lord night at some point, for sure. Um, yeah, yeah, that's the part that does suck, though, Jonathan. I mean, I really wanted Jocelyn to sit there and rescue herself, but it is what it is. If I could find some clips, Allison, if I can find some clips, or if Jonathan could find some clips, then we'll definitely do it, you know? Um, because me, I fucking love aces, so anytime that we could sit there and get ace a night, I'm down for it. Asa was literally like the original gangster. He said whatever he wanted, good, bad, indifference, whatever. Well, of course, Erica is literally daytime legend. Right, I'm not answering that. Tracy says Victor Lord role was really good. Remember when she played? Oh, Victoria role. Yeah, Victor Kiriakis is fun. But see, that's the thing, though, right? I don't remember if somebody sat there and said to me, like, is she? I don't remember them saying that. I mean, they could have said that, but I don't know. Is that I do feel like Jocelyn should be the one to get herself out this mess down. Oh, okay. I don't remember saying. Oh, okay. I feel like at this point, yeah, I know. That's what I had. Be interesting to see how it is. Oh, Christine. Okay. I thought you know what it is. I thought you was talking about days for some odd reason. I literally thought you was meant to talk about days version of Well, no, God, lady. I thought he was meant to because at one point he was talking about days, and then he just randomly switched to G8. So I thought he was still talking about days, and I kind of read it fast. So I honestly told you I'm cool with Christina leaving the show. To be honest, because like her storyline is not really that great. There's been this huge division with people either liking this new Christina or not liking this new Christina, and I'm kind of just like, you got rid of her love interest. Like, okay, she's running a bar, but is she doing anything else? Though, like, her last great story was with that damn baby, and ever since then, it's just kind of like whatever. And I know it's her choice to leave, so it's like, whatever. No, but I thought you was talking about Kristen Demera. Well, she did make and open the center. Yeah, it's something that they rarely talk about. I actually kind of forget about that. It's like I kind of forget that she's bi also because again, they don't give her a love story. They don't give her a love story. They haven't really given her a love interest. There's times where it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that she's bi. Georgia and G should actually be around the same age as Danny Rocco and Charlotte right now. She was actually born before. Yeah, they've definitely fucked up that stuff before. Yeah, I mean, she just should have did something other than confront her. That was fucking nuts. I wasn't a huge fan of Nell. She was very one note. Yeah. She actually does it. The actress actually does have a YouTube channel. She hasn't posted anything in years, but she has a YouTube channel though. But yeah, they're doing a new scout. It's funny. Okay, so somebody sat there and said that Brock was basically saying that like he would be cool with a temporary recast of Maxine. A temporary recast of Maxine. I'm kind of just like, why? Like, why waste a paycheck? GH fans, GH knows how people feel about Kristen Storms being Maxine. They tried that before with other people that have sat there and stepped into the role, and it's just, it's funny, GH fan. I never actually said it was Brooklyn's fault. So I don't know why you snipped there saying that I said it was Brooklyn's fault. I never said it was Brooklyn's fault for that. I was talking about the whole Willow thing. Why? Why? I mean, seriously, do you like the other people that come in and um is that right after you had that little temper tantrum or meltdown that you had before? Yeah. Okay, so like I remember when they had Jennifer, is it Lily? Jennifer Lily when she played Maxie, and I was just like, why are we doing that for? I don't know. I don't feel like she's really needed. Like she wasn't needed for that. Well, okay, well, that's your opinion. Yeah, I just, eh, I don't see a temporary recast of Maxie being important unless they're gonna dive into more of her stuff with fake Nathan and stuff. She wasn't bad, but it's like I don't know. I think when you kind of like, you grow up in a sense with the character and having somebody else step into the role, it's like, eh, you know, it's sort of like Sam. She didn't need to be at that meeting. What's good, Charles? She didn't need to be at that meeting. She didn't need to be at that meeting. Oh yeah, Ed. And you know it's funny. So you sat there and said like you didn't feel like that doctor was racist or sexist, but he was definitely rude as fuck. And normally I'm not a fan of PSAs, but because it went with the story, I felt like it was necessary. What's good, Charles? How have you been? No, 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 no. I know you said that. No, 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 I know, Ed. You were the one that was there saying that like you didn't feel like he was this or that or the third, and I agree with that. What's good, Sean? No, it was he was. Listen, Ed, when he walked in, he didn't even look at her and say hi to her or anything like that. I knew right then and there that that scene was going to go downhill. Like I knew that this guy was just going to be just basuda, you know. We have the whole Robert thing coming up. Yes, okay. All right, baby girl, we can you can agree to disagree. We don't need two people having a meltdown. Unfair the Christmas storm is now on recurring status. Speaking of which, have you heard? Yeah, I did. I do feel that some people have made up these stories in their heads that I'm not too happy about. Kind you stop it. Okay, yeah, you still remember it. I don't know. Whatever. I personally don't think that having a recast is necessary, but yeah, I mean, I get that, James, man, and that's just, and that would, but then what about Robin? Like we know that okay, like we know we're not going to get a Robin back. We know we're not going to get Robin back. So I guess that's maybe that's why in my head I'm like I don't feel like Maxie's necessary because we didn't get a Robin for Epiphany stuff, right? That chick, yeah. Um, hmm. Well, speaking of, which I normally don't do, so I heard a rumor. If y'all know where that line came from, you know where it came from. But that they are gonna have another character, um, named Tristan Rogers. So do you think that some of the recast storylines about recent stories about I don't know, I don't think that they're BS. What I mean by it is that it's more towards Brandon. Like people are sitting there making up these stories saying that Brandon's the bad guy. And Brandon's sitting there taking advantage of the situation. And Brandon's being nefarious. And Brandon needs to sit there and step up and he needs to sit there and help out Kristen. And it's like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like things like that where I'm just like exactly no Robin, no Sasha, damn, let us have Maxie. You're a very fun woman kind of lady. Yeah, I saw that on my timeline and I was like, okay, all right. Yeah, yeah, that's what I said. I saw it on my timeline, darling. I was going to say go out to Gwen first, leave Cat last because Listen, what what she's about to do to him is I'm kind of like, you know what? Maybe you kind of deserve it because he's going out his neck to sit there and risk stuff to help out Cat's mom, and that's how you're gonna do him. I mean, the truth of the matter is, Jake fan, we don't know. So I guess it's one of those things where it's like I would rather not make up stories about that without, knowing the facts or anything like that. I don't live with them. I don't know them personally, so I don't know, Sean. Some people sat there and said that Days was terrible when Ron was there. So, um, yeah, you know, um, yeah, hallucinations and people coming after her, and just a video on Instagram that, when you look at it now, did not age well. Something about like routers and you know somebody's trying to steal stuff and everything like that. As Latasha, I said this before, but I feel that Amy is going to um she going to take the law into her own hands because she doesn't have a case legally. And the bigger point is that it is, Allison. The bigger point is that Amy doesn't want this stuff to come out. Like, her brothers don't know. A lot of Sophia's friends don't know what she tried to do, all the stuff that she tried to do. And it's like, it's better for it to not go to trial. So this way people don't need to, you know, remember the bad stuff about Sophia. Do you think that Marlene is in the right though? Are you venting, Sean, or are you asking the question? Because I have no idea who that is. Do you think it's right of what she's doing with Xander? I'm more annoyed with the fact that like Gwen is constantly begging for scraps from Xander, and it's just like, okay, I just no, no, I was just saying, Sean. If you was venting, that's one thing. It's just I don't know who that is. Um, so it just ultimately, I said this in my review. Probably, I won't be too surprised, Allison. Days need to do better. Like Days is so bad to the point where it got kicked off of network television. And it's like you can't operate like that when you're on a streaming service. Like you can't. Like your episodes actually need to be more than just decent. Needs to be more than decent. Dizzy Lizzy, what's good, Dizzy Lizzy? Let's everyone say what's up to Dizzy Lizzy. Well, yeah, not when it comes to stop seeing Xander because of what's going on with Xander. I don't really understand that. So you agree with it or you don't agree with it? Well, yeah, Sean. That's my whole point. Um, they can't operate on the same level as like the network, the network shows. As soap opera fans, you come to expect that the episodes aren't, or you don't agree. You can't sit there and expect, like, we expect the episodes to be okay, whatever. We don't expect every episode to be super great because it's network television, and as long as the ratings are consistent and advertising and everything like that is good, they'll keep it on the air. You're on a streaming service now. You don't have. I'm still talking GH. GH fan, I am. I am really looking forward to a GH fan. Um, and like I said, there's two characters I'm really looking forward to seeing interact. That's Victor Newman and Vernon. Victor Newman, who is the definition of an entitled white man, and Vernon, who was a civil rights activist legend. Like, I feel like those two right then and there, it's just like, oh, that's gonna be good. Yeah, and that's the part, Darby. That's where I don't really, you know, it's not even so much that. It's like his business. This isn't personal. He's, he's doing this because Bonnie did literally plagiarize them. So it's not like they could have done one better and add a B&B as well. I would like that as well. But for right now, Jay fan, I'll take it. Johnson says Gwen was super excited to share her news with Xander, and he once again brushed her off. And it's getting to a point where, again, that's why I sat there and said it's annoying. You get tired of seeing her constantly be rejected, and like the way that they do it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I don't know what brainchild thought that this was a good idea, but I'm gonna definitely check it out. And I could have maybe this is new. Exactly, Darby. It's literally business. So she's like, oh well, I'm not gonna sit there and treat you. And part of me just feels like Xan. What's good, CK? Part of me feels like Xander should just be like, okay, fine. I'll see another therapist. Because I'm like, you're not gonna sit there and emotionally blackmail me when this is about business. This is literally about a lawsuit. I didn't file this lawsuit to sit there and be um, whatever. Like, the girl literally sat there and plagiarized our book. Maybe. I mean, right now AJ's not a good option, so I think that says she has a chance. The thing with GH is that it's good until it's not. I mean, yeah, that can be classified on almost every show. What's good, CK? I watch a lot of old school 90s and 2000. Well, yeah, for me, that's when it was peak. That's when it was peak, you know? What's good, Dee? Yeah, well, I know she used to have much better stuff back in the 90s. There were some people that didn't like Guzo. Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, come on, Jonathan. Did you not see that coming? They're afraid to go crazy back in the 90s. I think that's also what makes it so damn difficult. I think that's what makes it so damn difficult for us to sit there. Oh no, I'm not just on the AC, but I want to upload a new picture now. Um, that's what makes it so damn difficult, though. You know, for us to sit there and watch a lot of G stuff is because it's on YouTube now, and they own a lot of stuff. They own a lot. What's going on? I mean, they're already coming. I was trying to melt my ice cream faster. I didn't mind the heat. She was Lizzie, but they brung her back. They brung her back from the dead because no, they didn't. Seriously, can you imagine if they were actually fucking sisters, like brother and sister? Oh, absolutely, Jonathan. She absolutely is gonna go off on. She already went off on. She already went off on Paulina, and she didn't even know her from a hole in the wall. Oh, she went for fucking what's now? Hey, do people remember this guy? Um, yeah, I remember this character, right? Yeah, you remember what she called her, right? That's right. Oh, okay. Using the government name, I like that, Dizzy. Yep, the OG, the original gangster. But yeah, I really sat there. I was like, damn, lady, I'm glad. I'm like, part of me was like, I'm glad that um Belle wasn't there when she heard her say that. I'm like, I get it, that's your son and everything and whatever, but I'm like, girl, you doing too goddamn much. You doing way too damn much. Although I am happy that um exactly. I mean, all reality is you shouldn't be sitting there saying that regardless of who's there or not. But like, you know, that's why when Paulina was like, "Yo, listen, we're in 2026. We're not, women don't tear each other down." But apparently, I guess she still think that she's stuck back, I don't know, in the 90s or some shit. Or Carly and Valentine. Oh, I have no idea. Now, Johnson says Lexi had her edge moments, but she was never this unfiltered. Huh. And it just makes you think, right? Who did they bring back? You know? What did they bring back? I was like, yo, when you came back to life, did you bring your manners with you? Like, dead serious, did you bring your manners with you when you came back to life? Like, what the fuck? Discreet, kind, and compassionate. Yeah. She came back. I'm like, yo, I don't know what. I was like, I don't know what your issue is, but I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the actress. Okay, I like the actress, but like, I'm like, girl, you're doing too much. You're doing way too goddamn much. CK, she is Mrs. MacGyver, and I am here for Jocelyn. I'm here for it. Show y'all something. Lexi thinks life doesn't keep going on when she died. It's like I said, I want to sit there and see how she's going to interact with Chanel. Oh, this is something else. Somebody asked the actress Lonnie a question. Um, they asked her, I forgot the chick name that plays her, but they asked her, would Lonnie ever cheat on Eli with Lexi? Would Lonnie ever cheat on Eli with Lexi? And it stumped the actress for a hot minute. And she did sit there and say, like, even if it did happen, they would. Oh, Sal. Okay, thank you, Jonathan. Ain't that something? A mob boss without his crew? Pascal was like, bro, you played that whole thing wrong, man. Like, you look hella, you made yourself look hella guilty, and as the audience, we know that you didn't do it. But like, bro, now this is old school '90s, right? Old school '90s, Sunny back in the day with um Vanessa, aka Brenda Barrett. The fact that they weren't seen today was a problem. That is, yeah, old school Vanessa. Yeah. But see, okay, so I used to run home from school. I mean, okay, here's my thing, right? And I'm just gonna start by sitting there saying that I love movies, but doesn't it make more sense for this guy, this version of Sonny, to pull somebody like what's her name now? What's her name now? What's the chick's name now? What's the DA's name now? Fuck. What is her name? I can't remember her name now. Who's the new DA? Fuck. Justine, thank you, Dizzy. Doesn't it make more sense for this version of Sunny to pull a woman like Justine? This one sitting there saying, like, bro, I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, thank you, Justine. Because I already downloaded it. I'm going to just show y'all one more picture. But like I said, it makes more sense for this version of Sunny to pull somebody like Justine as opposed to somebody. Bro, Sonny can sit there and be Justine's grandfather. Okay, let's just be. I'm not trying to like be ageist or anything like that, but like Sonny can literally sit there and be Justine's grandfather, and you gonna sit there and tell me that that version can pull a woman like Justine? Get the f- out of here. That's true, Didi. That's true. That's true. But I'm, come on, like, come on. Let's just be real. Oh yeah, I knew that. What? Okay, which one would you prefer me to call you? Lizzie or Dizzy? I may just want to call you Lizzie. Anyway, so this was, I guess, the old school version of Lexi. This how Lexi used to, that's Sid. That's true. But yeah, this was Lexi. Um, I'll picture of her. All right, I'm gonna call you Lizzie. What the actress name is Renee Jones. Okay, and this is the new version. Now, I definitely sit there and say that they're both pretty. They're both pretty. I'm not gonna lie. I like this version better, if we're gonna be honest. But like, this is the more meaner. I'm sorry. This is the more meaner version. Oh, you remember? Yeah, you remember. That might be an older picture though. But yeah, I like this version though. There we go. Yeah, see, Ed, this is why I rock with you, Ed. This is exactly why I rock with you. Oh, Nikki, that's her name. Yeah, I may want to follow her on. But yeah. Anyway, uh, anyway, Sitwell, Pascal, and Sunny. Which, like I said, Sunny looks like he can be Justine's grandfather, and Jonathan is right. Sitwell is a lot older. When is Chase getting the boot off of GH? I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening for a while. I mean, that Patrick guy still got to prove himself, and Chase has been on the show for a while. So, oh yeah, God, yes, that's right. I forgot he can. Omar Maurice. Yep, here comes the two happy couple. There we go. No, what is true is that like Josh is having another baby with his wife. I think it's their third child. So, okay, Lizzie, I think we all get that. But the thing that's really crazy though, people like Willow back when she was with Chase. When she got with Michael, people felt that Willow was boring. Now she's not. But what do you think about Phyllis and Nick scene? The chick airing out his. Yeah, that was definitely wrong. But my whole thing is like, girl, you stole a company. Like she's like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. I can't believe you want to sit there and put me in jail. I'm like, girl, you stole a fucking company. What do you think is going to wind up happening at this point? Like, I really sat there, was like, yo, you are so fucking. I don't understand that. It's possible that after Johnny Chanel and Kay Harley leave, they could step up a storyline with Stefan, who I would mind, who I would remind everybody is not dead returns. They got to do something, Jonathan. Now, Johnson says Willow wasn't any different when she was with Chase. And I don't know why people liked her when she was with Chase. And what do you mean that she wasn't any different? What do you mean she wasn't any different when she was with Chase than when she first got with Michael? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Not yet, Lizzie. I mean, what they're doing right now is illegal. You know what I'm saying? Like imprisoning a person, that's illegal. What's good, Amber? How can I, GH fam? But I don't know. Some people they just liked her better when she was. Oh no, I got you, Lizzie. Um, I don't know. Some people just liked her better when she was with Chase. But I can agree with that. I don't see any difference. Like I don't personally see any difference, but people said that there was a difference. Maybe I should ask people. I know that I like this version of Willow. I like this dark version of Willow. I do think that it is her own. Like the fact that she's sitting there crying and whining and talking about she doesn't want to be married to Chase, and she should. I was like, girl, your ass should be in prison at this point. You should be in prison. The fact that you are running, like, this is your punishment. She's crying. She's like, I don't want to be with you anymore. It's like, girl, you should be in a cell. You should be in a fucking jail cell. Like, what are you talking about? Cat Lady says it was more skin and sex when Willow and Chase were together. I want to say Chase had more chemistry with the temporary Brooklyn. I like the other temporary Brooklyn. I didn't have a problem with her. Some people didn't like her, but I didn't have a problem with her. Yeah, at that point she definitely lost her goddamn mind. That's when we had Rory. Rory. We had Rory. That's true. Yeah, temporary Brooklyn was cool. I don't know what she's doing now. She. You know the thing is, here's the thing. I've seen people be nuts. I don't think that she's nuts. I think that she's a little unhinged to some extent, but I wouldn't sit there and say nuts stuff because we've seen characters that was nuts. I am I am so fucking happy that there's no nurses ball. I always thought that those things were stupid as fuck. I didn't really care about them singing. You know what I'm saying? Like I fast forward through all the damn scenes. Like, how do you think it's going to end with Brooklyn and Chase? I have no idea. But I will. Here's the thing. It's funny that you say that. I will always call her Brooklyn. I will never call her BLQ. I feel like that's the name of a sandwich. Like, I'm not describing the character as the name of a sandwich, but um, yeah, she's more irrational. Like I said, we've seen characters that are just like, nah, girl. If you're an All My Children fan, who was the name of that chick that was actually fucking crazy? She took Babe's baby. One second, Ed. Who was the name of that chick on All My? I think her name was Janet, right? Janet was fucking crazy. Thank you, Allison. Janet, like that was a crazy unhinged chick. Allison Perkins was a crazy and unhinged fucking person. So I can't really sit there and put that in the same league as Willow. Janet was fucking crazy. Yeah, Janet was nuts. You gonna sit there and say that Janet's crazy? It's the same level. Oh, Janet Green, thank you. It's the same level as Willow. Janet from another planet. I think it was civil, considering. Like Devon always comes across as kind of a dick, but at least he wasn't going out his way to purposely be a dick. He was just like, hey, listen, he was just being more protective. I'm gonna watch it after I saw your short. I didn't know you actually did a review. I saw your short. I'm glad that you got your computer fixed. Alston Perkins was nuts. But no, I will watch it after the stream. That reminds me too. Oh yeah, it's right there. Yeah, Sean, have a great night. I'll sit there and see you on Friday. Thank you for coming through. Well, that's what's up. All right. I'm happy. Happy. Oh shit! You actually got really good numbers on your short though. Like your numbers are in the thousands. Yeah, of course, Sean. Of course. Yeah, 1,200. Well, that's the thing though. Like when you do YouTube, like you gotta definitely put in some shorts because the shorts will fucking get. I mean, I don't think that people should stay on shorts, but like doing shorts definitely does fucking work. Um, but you can download um YouTube Studio on your phone. You can download the app on your phone. I don't think you can see it because it's like fucking white background. But like that, not that thing right there. You can download it and see it. So I didn't want to click on the wrong tablet, and then I didn't want to click on the wrong tab, and then y'all see something y'all shouldn't see. But oh, okay. Yeah, look, I'm saying you can. That's what it looks like. But We have different. I feel like it's the same. I feel like the app is the same now because I don't have. No, you should be able to download the app. I If so, I need to get a trainer because I can't have the woman in her age group put her in the same position because she used to be that girl. Yeah, she did used to be that girl. For a long time, she used to be that girl. Like she used to be that chick, and she now she needs a fucking. I do have YouTube Premium, and I can actually bypass the commercials now. They changed the app around, but like I have YouTube Premium. And see, that's another thing, Allison. The reason why I have YouTube Premium is when I screen record stuff, I don't have to deal with commercials. So we're not watching commercials, we're watching the scene straight through because we don't have to deal with ads. So that's another reason why I'm glad to have YouTube Premium. Because seriously, imagine us watching that stuff and then it records a fucking ad. Like that's just gonna be annoying. So for me, it's worth it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of ads, so that's why I was like, I got. Yeah, yeah, Lizzie, I'm not a fan of ads out there. Um, only one that I actually have ads on is Peacock, but Hulu and Disney Plus, I'm not doing ads. Like I'm not doing ads. Um, here's the thing with me, Allison. I'll deal with the commercials if I'm watching General Hospital live because you know I'm home. I get to watch it, get it out the way. But if I'm watching it like after 4 o'clock, I have DVR, so I skip past the commercials anyway. I don't blame you, Lizzie. That's the funny thing is, that's exactly what I said before somebody had a fucking meltdown. I sat there and said, I was like, Brooklyn, you open up your goddamn mouth, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. Um, I haven't watched anything on regular television, Liz. Like, I'll be honest. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Allison, for me, like, I'll watch it the only time I will sit there and watch it on YouTube if they interrupted, like a news interruption or whatever. That's the only time. Because I can't do the back and forth, the music in the background and everything. Like, I know why they have, you know what I'm talking about. So when they do that back and forth, that close up, and they have the really awful, weird music playing in the background. I know why they do that, but like, you should try to figure out how to allow it on YouTube. You should try to figure out how to allow it on YouTube. They will see how many people actually watch it. I mean, ABC should try to do this. Yeah, you know why. But that's what I'm saying. You know why they do that. They do it this way. You know, they can keep it on because usually you know, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't watched stuff on regular TV in a while. mean, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Well, for my reviews, I gotta watch it early so I can put it out early. And the thing is, Liz, when people sat there and said that they watched it on Hulu, I got ad free on Hulu. Um, Daily Motion, Daily Motion is good when they put it on, but I haven't been able to watch a lot of stuff on Daily Motion. And Cat Lady's watching Off Campus on Amazon to see if anyone's watching that. Um, but that's the thing, though. Like, yeah. Um, but with Hulu, sometimes it doesn't even come on at 8 o'clock. It may come on at 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock. Like that shit is annoying. Like I said, this is the reason why I got DVR because I'm like, I'm not, no. Like I used to watch B&B. I used to watch Born and Beautiful on Daily Motion. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, CK. Like, they both do the whole zooming in, zooming out, or whatever. Um, I fuck with DVR. But yeah, they do the whole. And the thing is, CK, for me, Y&R. The only reason why I would sit there and watch Y&R on YouTube is because it's one less show that I have to watch when I get home. Because I watch all five of the shows. Watch all five of the shows. So if I can clear one off my plate early, that's what I generally do. But do I like it on there? No. I was like, I prefer to just watch it off my DVR. Um, but if I have time, then I usually just don't bother. If I have to wake up early, I won't bother to watch Y&R. I'll just watch it that day. Like I'll watch it the right way. Let me put it this way: I'll watch it the right way. Oh, good old soap man. Yeah, and see that's the thing now, Allison. This was before the whole legal mess. Like, remember, you had all my children's shows on there. Well, you had the ABC shows on there. You had you had Days of Our Lives on there. Days of Our Lives was on SoapNet, and Passions, I believe, was on SoapNet as well. And they also had The Young and the Restless on SoapNet. So they had three shows from three different networks on that one channel. Now it would be a legal nightmare to sit there and do that. Uh, I think that's why I like watching all the five shows because yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I just said it as like I know what you mean. But like for me, it was like the three networks: CBS, NBC, and ABC. Um, like I said, now it'd be a legal nightmare, but you know, well, yeah. I mean, Port Charles was an ABC show, so like you had all four of them on. Um, like I said, you had Days of Our Lives, you had Passions on there. Yeah, I was gonna sit there and say that too. Yeah, you had the thing is, Liz, Port Charles got me into watching General Hospital. Yeah, and they had the original shows, being Erica. Um, and honestly, tell you the truth, that's how I started watching One Tree Hill. because they put on old episodes of One Tree Hill on Soap, and then I would just binge watch that until the new season started. And they had other shows too, like Ryan's Hope, Dynasty, which I didn't watch, but they were on there. Yeah, Soapnet was fun to watch. It was definitely fun to watch. If they can bring it back and they can bring it back without all the legal mumbo jumbo, because that's a hurdle in itself. If they can do that, they should definitely do it right. Like I think it would be really cool if they revamped it, but like they would put like actual people that talk about soap operas and stuff on there, like soap opera influencers, I guess. Yeah, I would binge watch a lot of One Life to Live over the weekends. Usually does. It usually does. But no, I think that would be really cool for them to sit there and bring like influence, and not just that they're saying me, but like me, James, Kyrie's. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be interesting if Kyrie's got called up to sit there and be one of the hostess for SoapNet. Oh damn, you remember the schedule too, Ed? Like back when MTV played music videos and they had VJs, but for soap, yeah, exactly. People that actually, watch this stuff, is a fan of it, that have appreciation for it, that can sit there and talk about it, like Brock. I think Brock would. I think it would be really fun to sit there and watch Brock. Um, if you're gonna be honest, Liz, MTV kind of died when they had the Real World on there. When they made the show The Real World, that's when the network started to die. It's gonna be honest, in some ways. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. You have James on there. Um, I think that'd be cool. They tried that with another channel called G4 TV, and they brung YouTubers on there that play video games and stuff. That didn't end so well. That didn't end so well, but I think it may work for the soaps. The challenge in the hills was the end. Yep, and Kelly T was on there, and I don't think that she won, but well, she won in the end. I'll sit there and say that much. Oh the hell! Well, technically, yeah, the hell. Oh the hells! Technically, it was Laguna Beach. Like, not to get all sassy, but I'm pretty sure Laguna Beach was before the hells. But no, I get what you're saying now. Nah, I think they definitely should sit there and hire you. Not that I watched any of those shows, but I knew about that. Just saying. Really? Yeah, that's true. Like I said, with Kelly T, she was on that show. You also had this other show. I don't know if people remember, but it was actual like soap stars. Like they had Kelly Monaco, they had Kristen Storms. Um, they had a lot of people from the soaps. They had the chick that played Chloe. What was the name of that show? Kelly Monaco Wikipedia. The true end was Real World Vegas. That was the season they said after. Oh, Dirty Soap. That's what it was called. It was called Dirty Soap. Yeah, that was supposed to give them like a sneak peek into like their lives and stuff like that. Hey, listen, trash TV was fun back then. Yeah, So Dirt is a podcast. God damn, god damn, god damn, god damn. Yeah, Nadia. They had John Paul, Farrell Faith. I have no idea who that is. I know she was on one. I know she was on One Like to Live, and some person named Gail. Yeah, John Paul. You know him as Rex, so you know him as Philip. Oh, and the dude that plays Sean on Days of Our Lives. Yes, Gigi. Yep, that's what I was gonna sit there and say. She was on One Like to Live. Yeah. Why is it taking so seriously? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kristen Storms and Kelly was on there as well. Why not? I'm tired of him sitting there whining over um. Uh, I'm tired of him whining over Harvey. Like I get it, breakups suck and everything like that, but it's like how many times do you have to sit there and keep saying it? You know? I think that's the part that just like it's a constant thing and it's getting constantly annoying. Okay, now I remember Gigi, but Mimi. All right, have a good night. Have a good night, Lizzie. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, no, I cheated. I cheated and I looked at the list. Oh man. All right, Lizzie, thank you for coming through. And if you're around, I'll see you on Friday. Oh wow, she was super young then. Okay, I think that's why I didn't. That's why I didn't click. That's why I didn't click. Yeah, during Paul Mendes, the Paul Mendes marathon. That was fun though. The Paul Mendes, that storyline was so fun to sit there and watch. I felt like Days, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of had a little bit more passion back then, and I get it. They had a budget back then. Um, and, I can't say it's harsh for me to sit there and say they're not as creative anymore, but you can't really be creative without actually having money to be creative. Like you can. Mimi was the girl who was like, hell no, every time Paul Mintz is trying to be alone with her on the island, the one kid with, yes, yeah, I remember. I remember now. She was so much young back then. I think that's why it's like it didn't click to me. It's sort of like when he had the character that played Matt on GH, when he played Sean, being exactly being Maxie. Yeah, Kristen Stone was Belle, who was Maxie. But and that's my whole thing. That's why I kind of push back against it a little bit, about having a Maxie replacement because Kristen Storms puts her personality into it, and she becomes Maxie in a sense. So when you have somebody else there, it's like, okay, she's there, but she's there in fucking name only. You don't feel Maxie when you're watching the recast. It's like you just want a character to be on there just to fucking stand in. Like, I don't know about you, but like that shit is not fulfilling for me to watch. It's just not. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that Will went to Logan. Um, the thing is, like, he is an annoying prick, but he's not unwatchable. Like Leslie is unwatchable, but the sad thing is, what is Jacob's mom's name? Because I feel like she's worse. As bad as Leslie is, Jacob's mom is a lot worse, and she makes Leslie seem tolerable. Like she actually makes them likable. She was like, "Yo, listen, I hope that your husband." Oh, Darlene, he was like, "I hope that your husband don't have to sit there and arrest me for beating your ass." I'm not gonna lie. When she said that shit, I did laugh my ass off because she literally sat there and said that she was going to, and I quote, beat her ass. Um, Danny don't fucking like her. I'm like, Darlene, you the type of chick that I can see being curb stomped. No, fuck that. You the type of chick that I can sit there and see being dog walked all through the Bronx. Not even Brooklyn, through the Bronx. Yeah, but I mean, how did you feel about that? Like, did you enjoy the recast? I mean, for me, I just felt like it was just fucking empty. Oh yeah, she was clowning. She was just listen. Again, as much as I don't like Leslie, yeah, because they don't. Kristen puts her personality into it. I mean, every actor puts in their personality into their characters, and I think that's where it feels off when somebody else is playing it. You know, and Cat Lady's like, oh well, I want her there because we need to have her there for Robert's funeral. It's like, do we need to have her there for Robert's funeral? Like when you really stop and think about it, you just want an. It's like Smith is saying, I want an empty husk to sit there and be there because she's just there and fucking name on it. But they're not gonna hit the same. They're not. They're not gonna have. It's like you really think about it. Like Kristen, I'm pretty sure you know kind of got to know Tristan Rogers, so it's going to hit a lot different when they do his funeral stuff. Do you really want to fucking stand in to sit there and be there? She keeps saying that she needs to be there, but she's just there in name only. This is that's what I'm sitting there saying. Like, yeah, you have the name of somebody there, but it's sort of like with Robert Addison. Remember Robert Addison when he was Michael and he found out about that kiss? That scene did not hit the same. Like emotionally, it didn't hit the same because he's not used to playing Michael. Having a name there just to be there is like it's empty without the actual emotion that's going to go behind it. Yeah, yeah, because then it's just like you're just a 60-year-old woman that's running around acting like school bully. You know, yeah, they need her there, but if they don't have her there, what are they going to have a stand in? I don't care like I did with Michael. I just want the story to be good. This sucks about a Maxi character. Okay, well, we're gonna agree to disagree. But she wants the character there, even if it's just name only. For me personally, I need the emotion behind it. Otherwise, it's just not gonna hit. It's just gonna be empty. But okay, that's fine. Recasts never work until you find the right person. I've seen a couple of people I thought were unrecastable. Yeah, like I said, you can sit there and get Robin there, but if you don't have to, especially for Robin, and you don't actually have the actress there, it's just not going to hit the same. Why are we subtle? I think, and that's another problem. Why are we subtle? Like she says, well, she's just fine. We've been watching so for a while. I think fans deserve better than just fine. You know, I mean, I don't know about you, but I deserve better than just fine. Oh, okay, got another idea, but I don't know. Anyway, it's getting late, so I'm gonna end the stream here. I'll be back on Friday. We'll sit there and hang out and have a good time. Lady, I love you. And attacking me personally is not going to sit there and change anything as far as what I just said. It's just not. It's just not. But yes, have a good night, Black Man. Have a good night, Dolomedics. Have a good night, my gorgeous Queen Cat Lady. Have a good night, LaShawn. Have a good night, Ed. Have a good night, Allison. Have a good night, Queen of the South. Have a good night, have a good night, CK. They have recast Max Town before, but Kristen's going to have made the character her own. Yeah, well, some people think that we should just settle. You know what I'm saying? Like settling, like, yeah, we should just settle because that's cool. Anyway, um, have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Dolomedics. And anybody else, you know who you are. I'll see you next Friday. I'll see you this Friday.